Hi everyone, and welcome to the My Message podcast. My name is Kyia Mochitani, and I'm your host for today's episode. Every episode, it'll be me right here. And on the My Message podcast, we are working to make our messy life our message. And without further ado, we have a special guest with us today, four-time podcast star on the pod. Welcome, Jake Stammer. Hello.
What's going on? I think it's 4 times.
4?
I think second time on My Message.
Second time on My Message, for
Pretty sure. New setup, though.
New setup. We are number 1. We changed our layout. Number 2, it's now on a professional camera. Number 3, I have a nice mic, and Jake has his own little mini mic. We're going to see if it sounds good and it'll all work.
Yeah, it should work.
So,
should all work out.
We're excited, and that way I can do more interviews with people and have more guests on the pod too. Okay, seriously, I cannot wait. This podcast episode, we're just literally going to talk about where we're at right now in our life and what we are both working on as a couple, with long distance coming up, with a big trip that I'm going on coming up, with being together for now a month in person. And so just what we're working on as a reflection. The new year made us think about okay, how has this whole year as a whole been for us? We usually do this on our year anniversary, but we just did it as a new year, and we reflected and figured out, okay, this is what we both need to work on. This is what I need to work on. This is what you need to work on. And then I kind of just want to share where we're both at in our life journey and what kind of walk of life we're at right now. So
It's not a resolution, though.
No resolutions.
They
Why?
suck butt.
They suck butt. Exactly. Thank you, Jake. Okay, so let's get right into it. What we are both focusing on right now in this moment, in this season of our relationship is what?
Focusing on answering first with love. And really what we mean by that is me and Kyia, we just work totally differently. Literally opposites in most things. Some things we agree on, work the same way upon, but not much.
Not much.
So we, with us working so differently, it's really hard for us to understand the other way of doing it. So if I do something some way, Kyia usually is what? That doesn't make any sense, and gets frustrated or doesn't understand it. And so we don't work well together sometimes. So we're trying to answer with love and
as our very first instinct.
Yes, and understand understand the other person's way of thinking, the way of doing, and not be frustrated or confused. Just be oh, okay, I see the way you go. I see the way that you want to do it. And
be in a nice, calm, sweet tone, right?
Exactly.
We both came up with an instance and a story of where we both could have answered first with love. And so, actually, recently, we were, changing the setup, and Jake was so sweet enough to help me. I had a long day of work and just doing so many things. I literally went from one place to another, to another, to another. So by the time I got home and needed to do this, I was just done. I just wanted to lay down and just go to sleep. But I made an oath that we would do this. So he was so sweet enough to come over and help me. And he was explaining how, an idea of this setup, right? And the way that he was explaining it, I just could not grasp or could not understand. And I was getting so frustrated. I was no, that doesn't make sense. I don't understand. And my answer should have been okay, you know what? Thank you so much for helping me, taking your time out of your day to do this and driving all the way over here in the rain at night. And I appreciate you, but can you try to reword it so I can understand it in my language kind of thing? So yeah, at the end of it, I said, okay, yeah, I definitely could have answered with love there, and I'm so sorry. And that's one of the times I could have answered with love. What about you?
Yeah, but before I get to that, the funny part was that Kyia actually never ended up understanding what I meant till I actually moved the desk and showed her. She's oh, I really like that.
You kept saying, pretend the camera's over here, but it's not. And I just, like, in my head, I can't pretend that something's there, but it's not. Like, the way he was explaining it didn't make sense in my head. And I'm a visual learner, so if you want to explain things to me, I need to, like, actually see it to be able to, like, make it make sense.
Yeah, it makes sense. I was just trying to explain it without moving it. It all works out.
Yeah, maybe we should have just moved it in the beginning. You didn't need to have to get there, but that's
Well, we figured it out.
All right, what about you?
So we went to a New Year's Eve party, and Kyia and me, we had woken up really early to go to the gym today, and we were both really tired, and Kyia didn't want to stay for very long, and I didn't either. But when, like, my sense of, like, not very long at a party, maybe be like an hour and a half. No, Kyia just wanted to go for like 15 minutes. So I never really understood what she meant by, like, not very long. We drove somewhat of, like, a far distance to get there in the rain too. So
add the context of that we drove people.
Yes, we drove people.
Because we were sober, so we were driving people, and that's the commitment that we made. And so then we get to the party. We drove 30 minutes in the pouring rain at night on New Year's Eve.
Then we got there, and we were both like, all right, let's just stay for a little bit. Like, we don't have to stay for a long time. And then Kyia, after like 10 minutes, she's like, all right, let's go. I'm ready to go. And I was like, wait, what? I was like, I thought we were staying for a little bit. And Kyia was like, yeah, 10 minutes. That's all I wanted. And I was like, I had a hard time understanding that. Just I was a little frustrated because we drove so far. But then the next day I brought it up to her, and I did not bring it up in a kind way. I was really mean about it, and it wasn't very nice the way I talked about it. I did not go about it in a nice way. I was like, what? Why did we only stay for this long? And I was all frustrated when I really shouldn't have. Should have answered with love and been a lot more kind in the way I approached it and understood her side, and not just my side.
And we both could have worked on being more clear of what
we should have just communicated before what we meant by a short time.
Right.
I guess a short time is 10 minutes.
I was tapped out. I just wanted to be in bed. I didn't care to stay up till 12 or do the whole shindig. I just was ready to go. But
well, it all worked out.
Yeah.
So
we learned something from it.
Exactly.
Okay.
This.
And so that's what we both are working on together as a team, is like, okay, let's both answer with love. Let's hold each other to it. When you don't answer with love, I'll be sure that you know that. And when I don't, you're sure that I know. Yes?
Yes.
So individually in our relationship, I have different strengths and weaknesses. He has different strengths and weaknesses. And so one of my biggest weakness is being patient. And that is something that I am working very hard on, to just be much more patient with you and just understand that you're doing your best. Something that really, really, really grinds my gears, like really, really grinds my gears, is when Jake asks me questions. First of all, that I feel like, how do you not even know the answer to that? Like,
goes back to we work so differently.
Right. He asked, like, the other day, like, I made this oath to myself, like, a little bit ago. And so when he asked me this certain question, I had to sit there and just be very patient and very calm. And although my heart and mind wanted to literally just, like, be like, seriously? Like, whatever. I had to just sit there and just say, okay, you don't get it. You don't know the answer to that somehow. Let me just be kind enough and patient enough to tell you.
You did a great job. I didn't even know.
I know.
Just over the phone, I had no idea until you just told me.
Yeah.
Sorry.
All good. Even though I haven't been home in like 3 weeks, I don't know how my computer would randomly be there when I was on my computer 2 days ago at your house. But who even cares at that point, right?
You, obviously.
So I'm just really working on just being more patient with Jake and just like understand where he's at with his journey, which we're going to talk about so soon, and just be patient on, the questions that he asks, because he seriously doesn't know. He's not asking to be annoying and make my gears want to.
Am I?
I really hope not. So I'm really working on being patient. What about you?
So my thing I'm working on is I tend to complain a lot, just about anything, and I'll complain about stuff that like doesn't even really bother me that much. I just seem to voice my things that bother me or like bother me in any way a lot, and that that drives Kai a little crazy. Um, uh, so like Kai asked me to like, oh, can you just carry in these few bags? I'm like, oh, are you kidding me? Even though it doesn't really bother me that much, like I just like voice it and I just get like really frustrated. Or like even like it could be something that like I do help with, but Kai's like, could you help a little bit more with this? I'll be like, are you kidding me? I do help with that. So I get a little frustrated. My ego gets a little bruised when I get asked to do a little bit more, and I think I do enough. So I just need to be like complain a lot less and like not voice these little these little things so much, and as well as just like not like be so egotistical. Like not I don't like who cares, like if that's how Kai feels, that's how Kai feels. It's not trying to be mean in any way.
Right. But it could be like from the moment we wake up to the time we woken up. That is so annoying and awful to you. And I will be sure to hear it from the moment we wake up. And then, oh my God, I don't want to get out of bed and brush my teeth right now. And then I get to hear that. And then I'll go downstairs. Oh my gosh, I don't want to make food. Or, oh my God, we have to drive all the way to the gym. Or what, we're doing this, it's just kind of an all-day thing. And so
just keep it to myself, I guess.
Keep it to yourself, or just work on just seeing the beauty and the good and waking up at that time and getting to be able to brush your teeth, right?
Sure. Just kidding. No, I agree. I'm messing. No, seriously though. That's true.
Or like I'll just say, like, for instance, on New Year's Day on the walk when Jake brought up whatever, the New Year's Eve party, I was wearing sunglasses and it was raining and I didn't need them anymore. And so I said, hey, Jake, can you hold these? What was your response? I want you to tell everyone. Go ahead. What was your response?
I don't remember exactly, but something like, well, I didn't want to carry them. That's what I don't remember exactly what I said, but I remember.
Oh my gosh. Seriously? I hate things in this pocket is what you told me. It's what you told me.
It's the truth. Well, it's the truth, but it's not that big of a deal.
It's
not that hard to carry
it's
either.
A nice masculine thing that you can do for me. They were mini sunglasses. That's it.
I know. I don't like things in that pocket.
I'm gonna be sure that I have, like, I pick up, like, that I get a rock for you. No, I'm serious. Like, so you can like learn to, like,
it's not a big
carry
deal.
Something in your pocket and like actually work through it. Like how I had to sit there on the phone and work through being patient with you.
True.
Is what I'm gonna do.
I don't know. You just give me glasses. I don't need a rock.
Anyway.
No, it's fine.
Jake, I want you to share with us what journey you are on right now. Tell us.
So Kai's been begging me for one of these for so long.
Oh my goodness.
No. What?
You're saying it in a mean way.
No, not at all.
Okay.
No. Just let me go.
All right, go.
You don't need to, your ego doesn't need to be bruised here. Right. So, I've been really, really, trying to improve on myself. And Kai was like, you gotta do this, you gotta do that. This is how you should get on one. You gotta get on a self-improvement journey. But it never really motivated me. Like, you have to kind of find like an inner motivation to like start one of these. So
one of these is a self-improvement.
Yes, a self-improvement. Yes.
Okay.
So that was like the first thing I learned about it. Was like you kind of have to find like an inner motivation to start one. Like someone telling you to do one it's never gonna work for you.
Before you go, like I kind of want to explain like what a self-improvement journey kind of like could be for someone who doesn't know.
Okay.
Self-improvement journey is like you are just focusing on yourself. You are waking up early. You're getting your shit done. You are working hard. You have dreams. You have a vision. You have purpose. You have like aspirations. You listen to podcasts. You, find like-minded people that you want to be around. And you literally just improve on yourself in whatever way that you feel like you're lacking. You work and improve on yourself, on your mindset, physically, mentally, everything. Go ahead.
Yeah. So Kai was like, I started one. You definitely need to start one. And the more and more she talked about it, the more and more I didn't want to do it. So once I told Kaya that, she started to get off my back about it. And I ended up actually like doing it on my own and on myself. So that's how I first started mine. It probably started like, I don't know, like a month and a half ago, probably. I don't know. I was
In November.
November, so 2 months ago, or no, month ago.
Yeah.
Month and a half ago, whatever. Doesn't really matter. So, Kai had listened to a podcast and she just said that she enjoyed it. She didn't tell me to listen to it or anything. Finally, and I was like, oh really? I've heard of that. It was a podcast about David Goggins, and I was like, I've heard about that guy. I think that he was just. I looked it up, and he had just on Joe Rogan, and I had listened to Joe Rogan before. I really like him. So then I listened to the whole 4-hour podcast straight, on 1 time speed. So it took like 4 hours to listen to, and I was like, oh my gosh, like this guy's amazing. Like I'm doing nothing with my life. Like I need to turn it around. Like I need to be better. And that was really the turning point. Listening to him, like him talking about his life, what, like how much of an opportunity you have in your life. Like we're so lucky, like where we're at, to have such a great opportunity to like be successful in this world. Like you can't let it go to waste. Like he is so successful, and he did not
come from anything.
He didn't come from anything. He did not, like, he's not your typical person that should succeed.
Right.
By like social norms. Like he shouldn't be succeeding at all. Like he should barely even be alive now. So that's what really was the turning point for me.
Thank you, Joe Rogan and David Goggins, because I would always tell Jake, this podcast is so good. Like, you got to find somebody that you love, like, you'll listen to, like, whatever. Like, this is so incredible. But this one particular time, I don't know, I just threw it on in my bath. I was taking a bath. I had my computer, propped it up. And I called Jake. I was like, oh, my God, Jake, this guy is awesome. Like, he's so good, like, whatever. And I just left it at that. And Jake was like, oh, my gosh, I'm interested. And he ended up listening. And that was just, like...
Yeah.
God sent.
The one time that you didn't try to get me to listen to it, I actually did.
Right. But I do have to say also, like, in your self-improvement journey, like, you can be, if you are into health, there's so many people out there who specializes in health and, like, want to help you with nutrition, with everything. Like, I can name 5 people, or there's people on podcasting, or there's people on YouTube, there's people on digital marketing, there's people on gym, there's people on literally like anything. Like there's people on anything, any platform that you can think of, or anything that you're interested in, that you feel like you need to like work on. Like there's someone out there. You just have to find who resonates with you.
100%. So with that turning point, I'll get back to my journey. Sorry. No, you're good. So that turning point, I was like I fell into like I don't know, I'm a college student, so like I don't have much of a busy schedule. So I fell into like the pattern of just like waking up whenever I woke up, going to bed super late, like not getting anything done. And then like because I was like just not waking up at like a certain time, I had like no schedule. It was like really stressing me out when I had to do like just like little tasks, like homework and stuff, just because like I was not productive at all during the day, and I was procrastinating a lot more than I usually do. So just like even just a little like task I had to do would just really frustrate me, and like really like I don't know, just bother me. And I was like, why? Like this isn't even hard. Like I'm not even living a hard life at all right now, and I'm like getting so frustrated by the little things. Like it must be something like with the way I'm going about it. So like one of the things that I'm really working on is like actually setting a somewhat of a schedule that I need to be like somewhat accountable. I need to be somewhat accountable and like do things that just aren't the bare minimum, like researching for jobs and like maybe possibly getting like a job to make some extra money, like looking into like stuff that I enjoy that can make me a better person, like stuff like fitness stuff, food stuff about like your mindset. And that just made me like way more productive and way happier. And like I just became way happier, and like things that were bothering me didn't bother me anymore. And like I wasn't like those little tasks that really like mess up my whole day. like didn't affect me anymore, and I found myself way happier, way more productive, like I said.
What about, did you feel more confident in yourself? Like, I remember there was a moment where Jake told me, like, I just can't even trust myself. Like, I say I'm going to wake up at 8, but I end up waking up at 11. Like, I can't even trust myself.
Yeah, that's 100%. I feel way more confident in myself. I like couldn't even wake up on a certain time. I would tell myself, all right, I'm gonna wake up at this time, and then I just wouldn't. So definitely just like just like a little thing, like telling yourself you're gonna wake up at 8, and then actually waking up at 8 is like boosting confidence. Like,
Right, and
okay,
it
I can do
gains
something.
trust
Yeah, it gains
within
trust
you.
with
Yeah.
yourself, and it just like affects your whole life, not just like you waking up at a certain time. Like, has a total effect on like your whole life. So yeah, so what I'm doing now is I asked Kyia to get me the David Goggins 2 books for Christmas, and I just started reading his first one. It's called Can't Hurt Me. I'm like about, I think, like 40 pages in it ish, and he's talked all about his childhood so far, and it's crazy like how shitty of a hand. I'm allowed to say shitty?
Yeah.
You said sucks.
Yes, you are.
You said sucks butt, so I didn't know.
Okay.
So sorry, messed me up. He just talked about like how shitty of a like hand he was dealt at life. Like, his childhood was so tough. It developed him so much trauma where he couldn't even learn. He could barely read at like a first grade level when he was in like 5th grade. Like, he has all these troubles. His dad like would beat him up and all these things. And it's just taught me a lot about like you have to feel so blessed about the hand you've been dealt. Like, and I'm so blessed and so lucky to be here, and I don't want to let that go to waste. Because if he can do amazing things with nothing, I can do amazing things with so much backing, so much support, and so much opportunity.
100%.
So yeah, that's where I'm at pretty much right now. I'm just reading more books, holding myself accountable. Yeah.
And getting the things done, that you need to get done.
Yeah, exactly. And like definitely venturing out more to like help myself like in the long run, whether that's a job, whether that's physical health, mental health, our relationship.
I remember like when I was really, on Jake's booty about like starting a self-improvement journey. It took me, like he said, like laying off of him. And then when he started, like it was a slow start. Like nothing's going to be done overnight. Nothing's going to be like so incredible, so whatever, all the time. I just feel like wherever you are and whatever you feel like needs help or like can use improvement, go on a self-improvement journey and better yourself. And it doesn't need to be this fast-paced, read 10 books, read for 5 hours every day, then work on a podcast. And you don't need to go so extreme. You can start out slow, just like how Jake did. And look at him, he's incredible.
Yeah, I would say that every self-improvement journey looks different for every person.
Yes,
too.
100%.
So, like however fast or slow you want to go, whatever feels right, I would say works perfect.
Yeah.
But definitely starting out slower is definitely better.
Not for me.
Well, you're like 1 in a million, so.
Not even. Okay. Anything you want to add, Jake, about your self-improvement journey? Maybe there's some other people that you listen to that you like, or any last piece of advice you would tell someone who's like, I don't even know where to start.
Yeah. Well, David Goggins is like one of my favorite guys to listen to. He really helped me. His book so far is really good, and a couple of my friends have read it too, and they said that it's amazing. It's like their favorite book they've ever read, and it's just so crazy to hear about him. And then another thing that I just did on my own was I made like a daily accountability journal, and I'll write down all the things I have to do for the day, or like just like little tasks like whatever, read the Bible, take my morning my acne medication, read, homework, like just like the little things that you have to do. Like I made a little like checklist. Like, so all right, I got to do this. I got to get it done. And then once I'm done with all this, then I can go on to free time. That way I'm just actually getting stuff done and holding myself accountable and making myself more productive and more happy.
What did my 5th grade teacher say that I told you? What's the quote? Do your job.
Oh, do your job. Do it right.
And see to it
that you never have to do it again.
And that's something that I live by. And maybe you do too now.
Yeah.
What was that? Yeah.
Well, I mean, not that. I mean, yeah, I guess.
Just do your job. Do it right. Get your homework done. Do it right. Then you never have to do that homework again.
It's very true.
Pretty simple.
Simple. Yeah, I wish it was that simple all the time.
It is. Okay, so what I'm focusing on right now in this season of my life. There's been a few changes with me recently. I quit one of my jobs. I put in my 2 weeks. I'm not working there again. There was just some things that happened that, at that job, and I was just like, okay, it's my time to go. Like, I've done my service here kind of thing. So with that, I am focusing a lot more time on my podcast. I'm focusing a lot more time on ways to grow this podcast, on ways to become more relevant and more effective, I guess, on social media. And ways I'm doing that is, using a professional camera, changing my setup, posting more reels, and just not worrying about how many people unfollow me daily, but just focus on all the people that do follow me and that do support me, and that the people that I could be reaching and the people's hearts I could be transforming.
It's a marathon, not a sprint.
Thank you.
You're in it for the long run, so there's nothing to worry about, like the short-term things.
You're right.
If you put out quality content over a long period of time, you're guaranteed to succeed.
Thank you. I need that. Anyway, so now I'm only working 2 jobs. I don't have any jobs at night. I think I'm going to take a few months of this and just like slow it down and just focus a lot more time and energy on this. And then once that, like, I feel good with that and I feel like I'm in my rhythm and routine and like constantly learning and growing, I'm going to get another job at night and just, recover from
go back to the grind.
Yeah. Recover from the money that I'm losing for, you know what I mean? Go back to my hustle grind. I still am on my hustle. I still am on my grind, but I'm only working not that much.
Well, you're just focusing times into different things now.
Right.
You're same amount of time, just into different things.
Yes.
That's all it is.
100%. My really big focus right now is just like really growing this podcast and really just working so freaking hard on just reaching more people and like having more quality content and having, like more guests come on and more things and more blah blah blah,
Yep.
So if anyone has any ideas for me, or if there's anything that I'm missing or that you like need to hear or need advice on, I'm your girl. Let me know. I will gladly do an episode or an IG reel or something for you. The last thing that we're gonna do, which I'm most excited for, is for Christmas I bought Jake the We're Not Really Strangers. I don't know if you guys have heard of it, but it's like the We're Not Really Strangers couples edition game. So we're going to do a few cards. We don't know, like, we're just going to pick random cards from each level. There's one about reflection, there's one about connection, and there's one about perception. And so we're going to do like a few cards and give you guys our answers because I've been dying to play this game, so I'm really excited. I'll pick on level.
You should just grab them because it'll be easier for you to grab them.
Okay, but is this? Okay.
That's level 1.
Okay, I'm going to pick one random card. My question to you.
Alrighty.
What was the hardest thing for you to understand about me early on?
How we work so differently. Just like we said earlier, like we work so differently. So it's super hard for me to understand, like, wait, why are you doing it this way? Like, this way is way easier to do it. And certain things, like, just like in every situation, like, just because we work so differently, it's very, it's just a lot of different things that I just don't understand sometimes.
I think the hardest thing for me to understand about you is, like, how you just don't overthink and you're never anxious. Like, I just, like, for me, like, it doesn't make sense in my brain that you're just, like, such a simple, like, guy that doesn't lay in bed anxious at all ever. I don't know. I was like so astonished by that because when we met I was going to therapy for anxiety. So
not that I like a lot of free time or me time either.
Oh, that one too, but that I get because I need my me time too now.
But at the beginning.
About you early on, yeah. Yeah, that you needed that you needed your me time. I was like, how can you even need that? You can pick one from level 1.
I'm gonna take this one. Not doing that one. Okay, here we go. Do you think I have any unconventional views on love?
What is your definition of unconventional?
Just like unconventional meaning like not like what most people think. Conventional would be like what most people think.
What are your unconventional
Like, do I have any unconventional thoughts on love? I could go first if you're...
Okay, go ahead.
I was just going to say, I don't think you do at all. Nothing that I could think of that's, like, unconventional.
I don't know what that means. Can you pick another? I don't understand.
Unconventional meaning not normal, like, not normal.
What are your unnormal thoughts about love? I don't know.
Like, these are wild cards. I don't know how those work, so I'll grab this one. What assumptions did you make about me that turned out to be right?
That you're an introvert and you get shy really easily.
Yep, that's for sure.
What about you?
That you're not an introvert and you're an extrovert, and you definitely feed off other people's energy, and that you're kind of loud.
Kind of?
You're loud.
Thanks.
I was trying to be nice, but...
Is being loud a bad thing?
No.
Don't think so.
Did I ever say that? It was an assumption.
Okay. Oh, this is a good question.
All right. This is level 2, by the way.
Oh, gosh. This is about connection. How do you think my job affects our relationship?
Well, I'm hoping it'll affect it a lot less now, but when Kyia would work very long hours, and I don't work a job because I'm a college student right now, she'd be very tired, and I would just have all this energy, like so excited to see her, so excited to do all these things, talk to her, and Kyia would just be like really tired and just like really just done like with like social interaction for a little bit. So it was hard for me to understand. We weren't able to do as many things together that we would like to. That's how I think it affected our relationship. But I think now that you have now that you're working less jobs, it'll be a little bit easier. You'll be a little less tired, a little more energy.
I think how I'll say college is your job, affects our relationship is like some days I'm like, oh my god, we're just on completely different like chapters of our same book, and like how like I don't understand how this could work if like I'm on this journey and you're on this journey and you're on this path, but we've all come to a common ground, so it's all good.
Exactly. I'm surprised you didn't say that I'm like 1,000 miles away or something.
No, doesn't bother me that bad because I'm so busy. It's like,
yeah, that's true.
by the time I even think about it, I'm like in bed sleeping, already.
Very true. What have you been extra sensitive to lately?
I have been extra sensitive to...
I can answer mine.
Go ahead.
I've been extra sensitive to waking up really early lately. I was really good the first couple weeks while I was back here. Like, I wake up at like 8 in college. Kyia wakes up at like 5:36. And I did a pretty good job for 2 weeks. But this past week, I just am not feeling it at all. I just want to...
But I've been letting you just
Exactly.
go to the gym on your own. And
Exactly. That's what... But I've been extra sensitive about that lately.
yeah. I think I've been extra sensitive about like the time that we do get to spend together, because I just want to spend like a lot more quality time with you, because A, you're leaving for college soon, B, I was working like long hours, so I just like want to just soak in all the time I get with you. So I've been extra sensitive to that.
100%.
Okay, we can do this one.
Level 3 now.
What's a superpower of mine that perhaps I'm unaware of?
You're a very good public speaker. Really good. Or like not even just public speaking, but like you're just really good at talking to people, like strangers, or just talking to people in general. And I think that's superpower just because I'm like very shy and introverted, and that's like something that's extremely hard for me to do, is like just go talk to someone or like public speak. Like I just like freak out about it. So that's something you're really good at that I don't think like you like even think about. Like you're just naturally really, really good at that.
Thanks. Appreciate that.
Mm-hmm.
I think your secret superpower is you are just so simple. Like you just have like a simple mind. I don't understand. Like I literally like could talk about it for forever. Like I don't understand how you just don't overthink a lot. Like it doesn't make sense in my head. And then like if someone says something to you, or if something like happens and you're not in your complaining mood, then you just like let it kind of just slip under the rug. You're like, oh, okay. Or it's not that big of a deal. Or like you don't let like the little things like affect you. Like you're just simplicity. I don't understand.
Yeah, I would say like I don't let the little things affect me till like there's like one thing. Like it all builds up almost.
Yeah. Yeah.
My turn. Last one.
Last one.
All right. Finish the sentence. I'm proudest of you for blank.
I'm proudest of you for starting your self-improvement journey.
Wow. Excited. I'm proudest of you for dropping out of college and starting your podcast and just doing exactly what you want and not like conforming to what other people want.
Thank you. I appreciate you. I love you, Jake. Thank you for doing this with me.
Yeah, I love you too.
Thank you guys so much for listening. I hope that you guys gained something from this and are so proud of Jake, because I am so proud of Jake. I love you, Jake. Thank you for coming on.
I love you too. Thanks for having me.
I love you, everybody listening, and thank you for tuning in. Till next time. I love you guys. Have the best day ever. Mwah.
Like, comment, subscribe.